Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Jesse.
And we're here today with Sheyna Gee.
Howdy, y'all. How you doing?
Hey.
What's happening?
Oh, we just made my living room into a podcast studio,
Right.
which is awesome.
Yeah, so we're actually on location at her apartment in Nashville. So different background, but kick-ass guitars, by the way. So kind of better than what we normally do with my man cave and your man cave, and
I definitely like this.
Now you're in the lady cave.
This
Right.
lady.
right.
Hell yeah.
So we had the opportunity to see you yesterday, and holy shit, way better than listening to you on socials. So any of you guys that are watching or there, get your ass to a live show, because the stuff on the socials does nothing in comparison to live. Like,
Well, thank you. I just get drunk and sing country songs. You know what's better than that?
yeah, I don't know that it gets much better than that.
100% true. I mean, I wouldn't say that the socials doesn't do anything, because you guys need to be on her socials and hear the pure raspiness in your voice. That I saw a video and I was like, good God, like, where has this girl been? Like, oh my, like, why is she not on Nissan Stadium right now? And then, like Matt said, we got to see it live, and I was even more, I think I was blowing you up last night, talking to you, be like, oh, why are you playing this stage? Like, you should be.
I'm working on it, man. We're all, there's so much talent now out there, and it's just like, you just gotta stay in your lane long enough, and I feel like if you hold out long enough, it all comes together.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I know my mom actually messaged me this morning because I posted a clip from yesterday, and she says, who is that girl you posted the clip of? I've never heard of her before, but she says, I got instant Janis Joplin vibes as soon as I started listening. I said, she's actually great. We're actually recording with her tomorrow. And she's like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear it. So even my mom, so you're capturing, wide ranges of age, because my mom's old as shit.
I love it. I get the Janis Joplin thing a lot. That's definitely my most compared artist for sure, and I'll take it. Man.
Yeah.
I'll take it any day.
Yeah, I feel like that's a great compliment to have.
Yeah.
So one thing that really just chapped my ass yesterday that I want to address, because I want to see how you feel about it, because I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. So some woo-woo girls come rolling through, and you ask them what they want to hear. And I've heard more artists than I can count say that they absolutely hate Wagon Wheel anymore, because everyone wants to hear Wagon Wheel. They come in, you ask them what they want to hear, they want to hear Wagon Wheel, they throw nothing in the tip bucket, and they leave before you're even done. Does that make, I wanted to frickin' punch them, and it wasn't my show.
He almost chased him out and be like, get your ass back here.
Does that frustrate you, or is it just kind of like you get used to that in this town?
Yeah. Well, I feel like that was a multi-layered question, so I will try to address each part of it.
Yeah.
First of all, Wagon Wheel, I don't care. It's, for me, I am down here to make people happy.
Yeah.
When I play my original shows, that's when I get to be artistically creative. So if somebody wants to hear Wagon Wheel, it is 4 chords, and I know all the words. It's in my range, so that is easy for me. And if I know when I request it, the whole rest of the crowd's going to be happy too, because they all want to hear it too. They're just too embarrassed to request it at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
But with the Woo Girls, especially on that gig, I kind of it makes it flow when I just ask people what they want to hear, instead of me trying to play the same 30 songs every day.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And they were having a good time. I think they were so drunk they didn't know that I was even up there. They were just like, oh, Wagon Wheel. And I feel like they danced half the song, and that's all I can really ask for.
Yeah.
If they were rude, I do have some people that are actually legitimately rude. And so when people are rude, that's when I have a problem. It's just, if people are drunk having fun, I know they have no idea what's going on. When I'm drunk, I leave without saying goodbye. So, I feel like they might not even remember that they requested this.
Right.
Well,
Hopefully they remember who sang the song, and they at least went on and checked out the social.
I like to hope so. I try to blast my name around as much as possible, so even if someone's watching a video the next day, they can oh yeah, that's who that was.
Well, and that's, for me, whenever I'm at a show, it doesn't matter how big or small, I do a couple pictures and one video of every artist. I have this huge like I pay for so much storage space that I don't get rid of them at all. Like back for years, and I go back when I can't get to shows, and that's like my little pick-me-up. When I can't get to a show, I'm like, I'm gonna scroll back and go check someone else. But I always make sure if they've got their name behind them to capture that so that I can share that and people know who it is. Right. And I think that's probably why I get frustrated, that maybe it's because I just take music more seriously than other fans, and it's just like, don't be a dick. Like, show some respect to these people that are out here, like, sharing a gift with you, and then you're just like, I'm gone. And it was like,
I think there's people that come to Nashville for the music, and there's people that, like, really just go, and it is usually during the die. You'll get the people that, like, go out and they're actually watching the music, but once it becomes nighttime in Nashville, the rules go out the window. Right. You know, everyone has been drinking since 10 a.m. They don't know their fucking ass from their head. You know, like, it's just... And I'm right there with them sometimes, you know? Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, we've all done that for sure, but I think like anymore, I know me, I'm getting older, and that's part of it, but I've gotten more into like the listening room side of things because I love the songwriting side of it, right? Like I want to hear the stories that go along with it, because there's always so much more than what you know when you just hear the song. And I want to know that because I want to feel the song closer to how the person intended it when they wrote it. Right. And you get that more kind of quiet. You can still have a cocktail and enjoy yourself, but it's not, 150 frat boys and bachelorettes coming in and out the door every 30 seconds with just nonstop chaos and noise. And so you can actually just, all right, I'm going to just sit here and enjoy this right now.
Those are the types of shows that I enjoy as well. And so I'll even take myself out to the listening room, like here in town, and just go sit at the bar and watch a couple of things. And you know, it's a nice departure from, and it's something that a lot of people aren't familiar with write-arounds, and so it's something that's so unique to Nashville. And there's other cities starting to pick them up and do special events and stuff. I'm gonna go up to Canada this summer to play some writers rounds, and they call it Nashville Nights because Nashville's the only place in the world that has writing. People are like, what's a writers round? Like, you know, and then you go to one and you're like, oh, this is such a different way to experience music, you know.
We've actually got a venue up by us that's doing one for the first time with Kendall Marvel, and
I just saw him at Bobby's a few
calling it the Northwoods Honky Tonk Experience because they're bringing it up north to us. And I was like blown away that they were doing it. We had the owner of the venue on our podcast, and I said, I hope it does really well so you make money and want to do this again. But I also don't want it to do super good because I don't want to be like sharing this with everyone. I want to be greedy. I love this.
Keep it.
Right. Like, it's cool, but like it's my cool. You guys go do your thing.
Well, it's also something that combats like the AI and the people that use tracks on everything and all that kind of stuff. It's something to be like, all right, you're not hiding behind anything in a writer's round.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and some of the writers that are the hit songwriters aren't the best singers in the world, but they're not singers, they're writers.
Right.
You get a whole other experience seeing it like, oh, you don't even have to be a good musician to write a hit song. Like, you know.
Yeah, there's a ton of them that don't typically perform at all other than in those situations. And I think that's what makes music so beautiful is the different aspects of it, right? So you can have people that don't write too, that just perform. Yeah. And they couldn't write to save their lives. And then you've got other people that can write amazingly, but they can't sing. And then you've got people like you who write your own music and sing and sound incredible. So you kind of have like this whole scope with music, and it's not the same for everybody, but it is the same in a way.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of writing, and I know you write a lot of your songs and everything, Little Bird told me that you started writing at the age of 6.
Yeah, I've been writing ever since I picked up a guitar. It was kind of like the reason I wanted to play guitar was to be able to. My parents got divorced when I was 5, and that was my way of channeling my emotions. And the songs weren't good back then, but I was in a band when I was from 8 to like 11. That was all girl band, and like we were all around that age, and we put out a little EP back then called Who Wants Cake, and we were called Spoiled, and like we went and like played in San Diego like like on the sidewalk for tips during the day, which I can't believe our parents let us do that with no supervision. And we were like,
They just drop you off.
8, 9, and 10. I'm like, these days we would have been trafficked.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
for sure. But the 90s, I guess, it wasn't any safer. We just didn't have as much news breaking on the things. But I guess the middle of Hillcrest, which is like the gay district in San Diego, I guess we're probably fine.
Yeah. Isn't that where you used to hang out, man?
Yeah. No, I was actually stationed in San Diego when I was in the Navy, but I grew up in Northern California, and I know from some stuff that I've seen you do other podcasts that we had similar musical taste during that time. And you were a Green Day fan at that point, and growing up in the Bay Area, I was the same way. You know, we had Pearl Jam and Green Day and Papa Roach, and you know, just that whole scene was off the charts at that time in California.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, the coffee shops were popping. I remember Jacoby and the guys from Papa Roach, they literally were like 10 minutes from where I grew up, and they would play coffee shops in my hometown before they were who they are.
Oh, yeah. I did my time at coffee shops. The Coffee Clatch in Rancho Cucamonga was one of the places I played a lot. Yeah.
That was so great in the 90s, like for me, because I was in high school. I graduated in 97, so that was like spot on for me. And then I went to San Diego, and I think you were a Sublime fan too, which was a great time for Sublime.
I was in a Sublime cover band when
Were you?
my late teens, early 20s.
Sublime is phenomenal.
Yeah, they're still one of my favorite bands to this day. But like Social D was my first like favorite band. Like I loved Social D. A lot of the female like 90s. I loved Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette still my number one.
Yeah.
And then like Jewel and some of that more like singer-songwriter-y. So I had a very eclectic taste like back in my growing up.
I think that just makes everyone's approach to music better though too, right? If all you've ever listened to is one genre, I'm not saying if you grew up on country and that's all you ever listen to that you can't be a country singer, because you definitely can, but I find it more interesting when maybe you grew up on some hip hop, or maybe you grew up on some alternative, or you know, different genres that influence how you write, how you perform, how you sound. Just kind of adds layers like an onion to it, you know, and make things so much better.
I think that's why country has become so accepted in the mainstream now. Is because it's not straight up country.
Right.
You know, it's there's little tastes of every genre in there now. Like
you get a little rock country, little hip hop, little
exactly. So
country.
whatever brand of country you're into, there's something out there.
Yeah.
You know,
There's country music for everybody now because of that, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I think something that like really sets you off, like you said, there's something for everybody out there, but your true unique sound, like there ain't nobody doing that right now. Like I can't think of anybody. Like there's a lot of guys that are starting to get into the gravelly, like that's the old like stuff that I used to listen to, is more of the gravelly old stuff. And like there's not many females doing kind of like he said, the Janis Joplin and that. And that's, I think, is what makes you phenomenal as an artist, is that you're doing something that nobody else is doing.
I think that's what everyone should do. I think if you're chasing what other people are doing, it's a detriment to you as an artist, because somebody else is already doing it and you're never going to be better than the person that's at the very top of their game. Right. Even if you are actually better, it doesn't matter. That space has been filled.
Yep.
So you have to be unique to yourself. And honestly, like, I wasn't raised on Janis Joplin. I didn't know who Janis Joplin was, other than I knew she died of a heroin overdose. And I knew her as a pop culture, how most people know who Dolly Parton is. It's like, oh, I know she's the country singer that jokes about herself and has big tits.
Right.
You know, it's like, but people don't know her catalog, you know, which is unfortunate because she has some of the best songs ever written. I didn't know who Janis Joplin was as a singer until I'm a music school dropout, and I was in college, and I was in a pop rock performance class, and they were like, okay, you're gonna sing Piece of My Heart by Janis Joplin. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I sang it at a performance, and I was like, oh, maybe I do sound like this girl. And then I had to study like Janis Joplin, and like, okay, maybe I need to listen to this and but it's honestly just from like, I started smoking cigarettes and weed between 13 and 14, drank all through high school. I'm such a typical millennial. And it's just like, it's just it naturally seasoned my voice, and I've been singing so long. Like, if you listen to stuff when I'm a teenager, I sound like a teenager. But like throughout the years, I haven't stopped those habits, and I sing 4 hours a day. Most days when I'm playing downtown, and when I'm not playing downtown, I'm playing original shows, which are still hour to 90-minute sets, and I'm writing on my days off. So like my voice keeps getting raspier and raspier. And if you like listen to the progression of my career, it's just, but it's not a.
So it's gonna get better and better.
I guess so, or it'll just go away completely. I don't know, but like where people are learning now, like there's a few girls in the industry that I'm not gonna whatever, but are going to vocal coaches to learn vocal fry, and it's so funny. It's like, no, that's just what my voice sounds like. Like that's just, you know, I can't make it not.
Right.
People can see through that too, and I think that's the other thing, and we've talked about that before on the podcast, the authenticity with somebody, you can see through it, right?
Absolutely.
And so when somebody's faking something or trying to do something that's not them, like sitting here talking to you, that rasp is there, right? So if you're going to go and put that act on for a show and then come talk to me afterwards and be like, oh, hey, how are you? And it's like, wait, what? Excuse me?
Right. That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't line up. Nice try, though.
It's like when you watch an actor that has a British accent, but then you watch the movie and they sound completely different.
American.
And then you hear an interview and I was like, well, that's not them.
Charlie Hunnam or whatever. It's like, oh my God, but he fooled me. Man.
Absolutely.
Hey, he can fool me anytime.
That's it.
So you just had an EP out 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
And about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it's 3 now.
Is
But
it 3 now? Okay. Close enough, but
exactly.
wording goes well. And I think I heard you produce the entire thing yourself this go around.
Yeah, I wrote every song on the EP and produced all the songs. That's awesome. It was such a artistic endeavor that I really wanted to do. I've had songs throughout the last 5, I guess almost 10 years is when my first EP came out in 2017 when I moved to Nashville. And I've worked with tons of different producers at tons of different studios. And my song that is the biggest, which is Ghost, is one that I wrote and produced myself.
Awesome.
And so I was like, let's just go back to that.
Trust yourself.
Like I, at the time, did not think that was going to be my biggest song, and it wasn't. I put that song out in 2019, and it didn't pop off until 2022. So like, I had no idea that was going to be the song that changed my life. And I was like, okay, you know, I've tried working with other people, I've tried different styles, like I'm just going to go back to being me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously it works, right? So, I mean, you stick with what works, but how is that, when you do it, do you feel like it's more risky doing that? Or was it, you know what, I killed this before, so I'm going to just trust myself and just go with it? Or is it like people in the industry saying, you don't produce your own shit, you need to have somebody produce it for you, you know, because everyone kind of likes to think that everyone has a lane that they need to stay in, right? And I love seeing people that kind of break down the walls and say,
make their own lane.
Just because you do it that way doesn't mean I need to do it that way. But with that, does it feel risky to you, or is it just like, no, this is good, I got this?
It was definitely more pressure than normal because of like, if people don't like it, it's all my fault. But I was really confident in the music, and so that was like the thing where I was just like, okay. And my distributor was so supportive when I told him I was gonna do it, and he was like, yeah, do it. And there was still some hiccups. You'll see on the credits, like there's 2 different engineers, because the one engineer that said he could get it all done in a month, 6 weeks later we had one song done. And so I had to switch lanes and spend a lot more money than I had initially planned on spending, and go to a producer or an engineer that said that he could do it in 3 days. And sure enough, we knocked out the last 3 songs in 3 days. And you know, an extra.
Should have heard them from the beginning.
I know. Well, I was trying to cheap out, and I ended up having to spend an extra $3,000 that I didn't really have, but I had deadlines that I had already committed to and already announced the EP, and I was just like, I'm
Make sure you guys are hitting that tip bucket.
That's right. That's
Absolutely. So, and you've got a tour coming up, what, a couple months now, or a month now, when you're heading overseas?
Yeah, I've got scattered show dates throughout the summer, and then I'll be in Europe for 6 weeks in September. But next week I'll be playing, or next month I'll be playing in Belize for a songwriter festival, and then I'm playing.
I always want to go to Belize.
Yeah, come on down.
Is it a country songwriter festival in Belize?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'll be in
We might need to get
July.
the info after
Yeah,
this
that's right.
Vacation time.
My wife always wanted to go to Belize.
There you go. And it's one of the cheaper places to go vacation, even though it sounds so exotic. Like, you know. But
that's wild. I wouldn't think of Belize as a country songwriting.
most people wouldn't think of the world as country, but every country now has. I have fans from Indonesia. I have fans from all over the world that you would never have expected 20 years ago.
How did they
But
me?
but TikTok has changed everything, and as much as people hate on TikTok, it has opened me to a global market that was not like. I got overseas the first time from Facebook, from a radio DJ that just found me and was like, "Hey,
yeah, 'cause you've done it overseas a few times now."
I've been going since 2022 now. I was supposed to go in 2020 to Germany for the first time, and that was someone who found me off of Facebook.
Damn, COVID.
And then but it kind of worked out because I didn't have the social media presence that I had after I was able to build that in 2022. So when it hit, it was kind of just like the perfect storm of like I had popped off in August and I'd already had this tour planned for November, and so there was a little more momentum. The shows were a little more sold out. So now the guy brings me back every year because the shows do pretty well.
That's awesome.
You know, and then it's opened me to a global audience where people see that I'm playing in Germany and they're like, "Hey, I have a venue in Switzerland. Would you consider doing that? Hey, I have a venue in Denmark. Hey, I have a venue." You know, so I'm able to play places that I never would have imagined. But ironically, weirdly, my biggest audience right now is Norway, which I never would have expected ever. But like the numbers on my Spotify and my iTunes are consistently the highest in like the Nordic countries.
Wow.
Interesting.
Well, you know, somebody else, I remember hearing of somebody else that they like blew up over there before they were, you know, making it here. And I was like...
It's happened so much over the years.
And they were from here, and I was like, how do you...
Tom Petty's a huge one.
Yeah.
American Girl was a huge hit in England.
Yeah.
And then they broke it. And they had tried to break him over here for 10 years before that, and he could not break.
Yeah, it's so weird that things play out that way.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I literally have no idea. But I'm just going to ride the wave while it's happening.
Yeah.
Tour the world while you can and take advantage of
if it ever happens over here, great. If it doesn't, I have an audience over there, and it's cool.
I know it's even weird for us because I remember the first time we seen that we had a podcast fan from South Africa, and I'm like, South Africa? Is this right?
So many South Africans, they love country so much. There are a bunch of rednecks down there, and I would have never thought that. But it's...
I think we get closed-minded here of what we expect country to be, and the U.S. is country, right? But I know from, you know, going to music festivals for years, the Australians are like hardcore country fans. And
they come from Australia over here to go to like our Michigan, you know, faster horses, or Tortuga or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild that it's so global now. And I was a TikTok hater for a long time.
Me too.
It was like what, probably 2022. It was well after COVID when everyone was like, "Oh, TikTok." I'm like, TikTok.
I wish I got it in 2020.
Oh, I wish I would have got it in like 2010 if it was a thing. Because I go on there and I love my feed. It's just artist after artist, and it's putting new artists in front of me that I didn't know before, and I'm like, oh, another one. And I'm like, Carl, check this person out. Jesse, check this person out. You know, constantly sending all of our friends, you got to hear this person. You got to hear this person. And before that, I'm such a nerd, and I'll admit it, I would go and search out like artist management companies to see who was on their roster and be like, I've never heard of them, I'm gonna go listen to them. And I would look for music that way to find something new.
Now it's delivered right to your phone.
Right, yeah. So it's crazy.
Laying in bed.
Right, anywhere you go.
Yeah, my bass player, we were on a travel day in Florida in December of 2019, and he had just got a TikTok, and he had like in 2 weeks got like 3,000 followers, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Like that's not gonna. It's gonna die.
Yeah,
We're not
a thing.
Yeah, and sure enough, and then over COVID, I was still like, no, I'm doing my Facebook lives. They're doing just fine, like whatever. And I kicked myself in the butt every
not
time.
Doing TikTok lives or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me,
and it seems like that was
the time,
when there a lot of people came into country music.
But everybody
came in at that time.
Everybody that I was friends with that had TikTok was like talking about the dumbest shit ever. There was dance. Did you see this dance? Did you see this? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I didn't know there was music.
I was going to say, because I think that was the cliche we all thought.
Right.
It wasn't real. Right. It was the people on TikTok trying to gatekeep.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I realized there was music on there, I think Jesse was the one like, just do the TikTok. And it just sucked me in. Yeah. And it was like, all right.
Right about the time that you started doing TikTok, I stopped doing TikTok and started doing like the Instagram Reels and stuff. Pretty much the exact same thing. But I'm like, no, TikTok's getting too crazy right now. And so I was like, and he's like, I'm on TikTok every day. I'm like, I'm on Reels every day.
Yeah.
So that's actually, I'm like, I sent him it came across an Instagram Reel, and I was like, dude, I think I sent you like 5 because I instantly went to your page, I instantly watched one more video, and then I went to Spotify, followed, went back to Instagram, followed, went to Facebook, followed, and then sent you like 5 videos in a row of your videos.
And I responded back to him like, I already followed her already on TikTok and on Facebook. And he's like, oh shit, okay. So sometimes that happens where we'll go to share someone new and one of us has already found you.
Yeah.
And I think you actually came across my Spotify. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, I was listening to Ashland Craft, and it put you in as like someone you might like, and I'm like, whoa, who the hell is this? And let me go check this out.
Joplin's still cutting trash.
And that was how I found you initially. So usually I'm finding people on socials and then going to Spotify and following. This was one where it like popped in on Spotify and then was like, okay, I'm going to jump over here and follow now too.
Working.
It's Spotify's an algorithm too.
Yep.
And that is one of the things that like I've been working really hard at like feeding that algorithm as well. And that's why I've been releasing the last 2 years so consistently. And it's just been like 8 weeks is the longest I'll go, but I try to do a month to 6 weeks to try to feed the algorithm and make sure that there's something new. My next single is not a very good representation of me because it's a song from a mom to a daughter, and I wanted to hold on to that song until have somebody who's actually a mom cut it.
Right.
But it was one that I have recorded. I need to put a song out, and I was just like, fuck it, I guess this is gonna be my next single. And it's important, my mom's a single mom, so it could be from her point of view, but I do wish that like it was something that was more my story, since I'm so much like, I release so many songs that are my story. This is more of just like a story, and would have served a mother well, but it's still gonna...
if it's delivered properly. I remember Jesse, the first time he heard was a Dirt Cheap Cody Johnson, and he thought that Cody Johnson had wrote it because he sold it so well, like it was his story.
Right. I thought that was Cody or his dad or something. Like,
so you don't have to.
It's a writer's round.
Have a mom do it. If it's sold well, people can buy into it and like, oh, this is a great tune, and I'm gonna jam it, and
right. They'll think you're a mom with 12 kids.
I wrote it. I just didn't. It's like it did come from my brain, but it's just not.
Your next podcast, they're gonna be like, hey, so tell us about your kid.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Yeah, actually, I'm never having children. That is not a thing for me.
But this song is awesome.
Right.
I hope that's how it works out. We'll find out on May 8th. So.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, we'll make sure we share it when it comes out.
Heck yeah.
Actually, we can probably so May 8th it comes out. Why don't we drop this podcast
the Tuesday before,
like the week of.
Heck yeah.
So you guys make sure you're going and checking out our new. Do we get a name of the song?
Yeah. It's called 17.
17. Make sure you guys are going. You guys should be going on and following her anyways, and subscribing and hitting in that, it alerts you and stuff like that when something new pops off.
Yep.
Pre-save. Pre-save on Spotify, 17.
Yes, 17, a mother-daughter wedding song. So we always get the father-daughter moments at weddings.
Yeah,
and,
right.
You know, mother-son moments, but there's not a mother-daughter moment, you know, and like...
And that's probably usually the most important moment that...
Well, for me, it's like I don't talk to my dad, and so it's like if I ever do get married, like he's not gonna be the one walking me down the aisle, like my mom is, and I want her to have her moment because she's the one who did all the hard lift, like all the heavy lifting over the years.
Yeah, life's crazy like that. So my wife and I have a blended family, and so my daughter, she's technically my stepdaughter, she wanted her grandfather, her biological dad's dad, to walk her down the aisle. She always said that growing up, and we kind of had a tumultuous relationship at times when she was younger, and all that stuff's behind us. And she actually asked me to be the one to marry her instead, since she had already asked her grandpa. And so I don't believe that necessarily just because somebody's blood that they need to be a part of something. It's the people that have been there for you through all the stuff, because she didn't ask her dad to do any of that, like nothing. So, you know, I think that's pretty common, and I think that sometimes people have an expectation that it should be different, but if he doesn't deserve it, he doesn't deserve it. Exactly. Right? And if your mom deserves all the credit, then she deserves all the credit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I think that's one of the things that not enough people talk about is the real shit. I think you kind of touched on that a little bit on the Raise Rowdy podcast, that you're kind of just like an open book and talk about the real shit. And more people are starting to do that, but it's still not enough. And so I think it's great anytime somebody does. Because there's not one person out there that's dealing with that same shit. There's thousands of people that are out there dealing with the same shit, and they think they're the only one.
Exactly. Right? That's why I'm so transparent about my journey. It's like I've been through the ringer, but everybody has. Like, and it's might not be the same story, but everybody's had hard times. Hopefully everyone's had some good times too. But some people feel like they don't get those ever. And I feel like they need to know, no matter how pretty everything is on social media, that doesn't mean life is great. You know, that doesn't mean, and my life is great. I'm so happy. I get to play music for a living. Like but I chose that. And I chose all the struggles that come with that. All the loneliness, all of the work, all of every dollar I make goes into either this place that I live or my music, you know? And that is what it is. Like, sometimes.
But you're living the life you want, you know that there's going to be good with the bad, and you take it and just kind of roll with it. And some people, I think, get caught up on like, oh, this sucks. This is going nowhere, right? Like, everyone's against me, whether it be a 9-to-5 job or anything. And, you know, I've dealt with that before, and it's just like, you know what? I'm going to accept this for what it is, and I'm going to choose to be happy anyway.
You have to choose to be happy every day.
Right. Because it's so easy in this world to just be like, oh, that person kicked me. Oh, that person kicked me. This person kicked me. I get online and somebody kicked me. Like, fuck all you guys. I'm still going to go do me. And you know what? You can be miserable by yourself. You know? I do that online. People say some negative shit from time to time on our stuff. And I just tell them,
he tripped. Somebody made a comment about
have the day you deserve. You know, it's kind of my thing. Like, if you want to be a bad person, then you just have the day you deserve.
Oh, I go further than that, and I ask them to elaborate on why they're so mad about whatever I did, or like, oh, what? Like if someone's like, oh, please stop, or like, oh, don't quit your day job. It's like, oh, well, what do you think I could be doing better? I would love your input. Like, you know, like
what is it you do for a living? How was your last review?
Well, and I think that the true openness, and like you said, the open book, I think people resonate with that much better than like if there's somebody like fake out there, like you were talking about. Like eventually some of that stuff will come out, you know. Everybody's got their closet full of, all their
Skeletons. Exactly.
And if you're just open with it from jump and go, I think people appreciate that more as opposed to like finding out later on down the road, like, oh my gosh, Bill Cosby did that.
Right.
Stuff like that. So
I don't know if he could have been open.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have. Bad example.
Bad example.
Bad
I
example.
don't know, that just popped in my head for some reason.
Hey, if one of the girls came out earlier, though, they would have saved a lot of other girls.
That's true.
So
Right.
that's on the flip side.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if someone was more transparent about their experience, maybe other people wouldn't have had to have that experience. And I think that that's kind of back to the sentiment of just being open about your experience. And it's just like, oh, like I was in a emotionally abusive relationship with somebody for a really long time that gaslit me all the time and blah, blah, blah. And I'm about to do a little deep dive into some of those stories on TikTok. I just haven't quite figured out how to tell the stories. But it just makes it, but people listen to my music. They know. Like, they know how, like, Ghost being my biggest song is all about, like, a relationship that doesn't have good communication and that's coming to an end. And that's, I think, why that song resonated with millions of people.
Right.
Because people are like, yeah, I have been in that part of a relationship where we both know it's over and nobody wants
Everybody has.
Right. There's
And it's
millions
just
of
like,
people out there that have gone through pretty much the same
it's like,
thing.
well, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to go look for somebody else. Like,
And there's people that are probably living it at that moment while they're hearing it, and then they're questioning, like, what the fuck am I doing?
I've had so many people reach out to me and say that my song was the breaking point of their relationship, and they realized that they could do it. And it's just like, and that song is about a 7-year relationship.
Oh.
And so it's just like, you can always start over.
Yeah.
And the one I just got out of was 6 years, and it's just like, you can always do it again. Like, does it suck? Fuck yeah, it sucks. Like, I'm lonely as shit, and I'm sad, and whatever. And even like today or yesterday, I found out that he was on the dating apps the day that he broke up with me. And it's just like, oh, does that feel good? No, that feels horrible. And that means like he had already planned on doing this way before he did it, even though I'd asked him the week before. I was like, it feels like you're gonna break up with me. And he's like, absolutely not. I want to marry you. I love you. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, weird that you broke up with me 1 week later. That's very, you don't just change your mind out of nowhere.
No, nothing happens in 1 week that is drastic like that.
But that says way more about him than it does about you.
And that's
to be on the dating app the next day or same day, it's like, really? Okay, so fuck off, I'm better off then. And I think sometimes that can help ease that a little bit, like, okay, you know what? I was questioning this, but clearly you were not the one.
Exactly. And as much as it hurts, sometimes you have to go through the shittiest part of the storm to get to the rainbow, It's just, it is what it is. And I can't be upset about it. I have to just accept it. And it's like, does it make me sad? Of course. But it's okay. A year from now, I won't even remember the sadness.
Right.
It's like,
Unless you write a song about it during this time.
And it flows up.
And then you're like, God damn it,
now I gotta perform this all the time.
For that
every
asshole.
day.
I'm actually having a harder time. I wrote one of the best songs I ever wrote about him when I was in love with him. And I just recorded it, and I'm having a harder time recording the happy things about it because it's just like, oh, it was all fake.
Right, damn it.
Well, look at it as a future relationship then.
That's what exactly.
Say, you know what? This isn't about me.
I will find this.
This is what I'm going to have in the next one.
I will find it. I just recorded 6 songs on Wednesday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. In one of the biggest endeavors that I have ever done, the most money I've ever spent on a project. But it was an 8-piece studio musician band, and we recorded at one of the best studios in town, and it was a full day of just hearing some of the best art I've ever created come to life. And these songs are written with some of my best friends.
That's awesome.
And there's 2 songs that are 2 more songs that I wrote by myself. And having these guys at the end of the day, they're like, if we don't like a session, we usually just said, thanks for having us today, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you are the next Waylon Jennings. And that was the biggest
Damn, I had my Waylon Jennings shirt on. Dang it.
I have never had, on TikTok a few people have said female Waylon Jennings, but I've never had men that have actually recorded on some of the biggest projects in town compare me to Waylon Jennings. And I was just like, you get it. That's actually,
You're like, wait, fuck him. What was his name? I don't remember because I'm gonna do Waylon Jennings.
Oh, I was just on a high for sure. But I want my Jesse Coulter.
There you go.
Well, this is not him. So the upside is you can be laughing your way to the bank later and say, well, guess you just stuck around, motherfucker.
Exactly.
See what you're missing out on?
Oh, I'm so happy with the way that he left me in Texas at midnight, and I was so happy because I was like, this is gonna make the best country song.
Right.
Like, this is, and it's so dramatic. I can't go back afterwards because I'll look stupid.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like you literally left me in another fucking state, you douchebag.
Like physically left you there?
Physically left me in
So
Texas.
he definitely did choose Texas.
Wow.
He left.
I thought you meant you were there and like he dumped you, but like
Via text or
he
something.
like physically left you in another state.
He physically, in the middle of a rainstorm so bad that his Uber had to pull over on the side of the freeway for an hour.
This
dirtbag.
This is a country song. Like I see like Hardy Laney Wilson like mashed up with like the rain.
Oh yeah, dude,
Like Miranda Lambert, I'm gonna like burn his house down, shit. Like
on my last EP, the second line of the second song on there is my "Lived Life Like a Country Song," and that is the true. It's a dumb line, but it was so real that I had to leave it in because I'm just like, yeah, I'm living.
I think you need like that like underneath the guitars or something like stenciled in or something like that.
Well, I'm hoping the next season of my life is a love song, so I don't want to manifest too much more drama.
Right.
I've had enough drama in the last 3 years for a lifetime, so I'm ready for
more mellow.
Yes, I'm just ready for a
rowdiness?
season.
How to get rowdy?
Oh, the drinking stays no matter what. I just gotta find somebody that can keep up.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Speaking of some drinking, so we were at a show last night, and she said that her preferred drink of choice, or what you actually do on stage, and I think we got there in time where you were like, all right, this is number 4. I usually only do 3. So
I was definitely on the other side when I met y'all yesterday.
Yeah.
How did you keep this hidden that whole podcast? I did not see this.
Sneaky. I've snuck booze into a lot of harder places than this.
Yeah, you didn't even have security. We snuck booze in real easy.
I was gonna try to line it up beforehand so we could all do a shot on the podcast to get some shot glasses out or something.
I mean, I've got a whole cupboard of shot glasses. If
Carl, you want to help us out?
This first cupboard right here, the one with the paper towels hanging out of it, there
next
is
to the awesome Dolly Parton Rolling Stones. You guys can't see it.
Actually, there's some plastic ones in the cupboard above the fridge.
Yeah,
I think.
we'll do that.
Well, that way we just don't clink around. I know my cupboards are.
But we do know you're playing, what is it, Aldean's later today?
I am. I'm playing Aldean's. I play Aldean anytime I'm in Nashville. I play Aldean's Rooftop every Saturday from 3 to 6, and it is like my favorite show.
Yeah.
We technically start at 2:30, but I feel like that's so weird. So I just always say 3 to 6.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the most fun show in all of town. While I probably don't really align with Jason Aldean on a lot of things, one thing is that bar is so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like, it is so great. The people are always in a good mood. It is just the best place to be on a Saturday. And it's a rooftop.
Right. Do you prefer Broadway over the off-Broadway shows, or is it?
They both have totally different, because you guys went to the yesterday. I play Old Dominions every Friday, and I've been playing every Friday since they opened. And so if I'm ever in town, I have the same schedule, so it's so easy for people to always come back and see me.
Yep.
But I love the Old Dominion show because that is such a fun, just like chill acoustic. I get to play a lot of my originals. If people ask for them, where downtown, it's like I have to kind of pick and choose when I can slide those in. Like, because I always, because of TikTok, have people come in and ask for them, but they'll ask for like my song Anymore, and I'm like, no, I'm not playing a song, a sad ass song on Broadway.
I want to get this party started. I want to get rowdy.
But at Old Dominions, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can play whatever they want.
Right.
So.
And do you find that people like off Broadway are gonna stick around for like a lot long? I feel like Broadway's always just this like constant in and out, and so
it totally is. We're very, very
turning over the crowd like every 2 or 3 songs sometimes.
Which is great because that's how I make more money. But different people in the bar.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky and a little bit of an anomaly that we have just a killer band that like these guys put on a show. I try to put on a show, and we will play everything. We always say say from Hank Senior to Chapel Roan. So it's like if you are looking for something, we've got it. So we have like so many regulars and so many people off TikTok and so many people that do come and stay for the whole 4 hours. I'm just like, thank you so much. Like that's amazing. But Odie's is definitely a place people sit and communicate. I can interact with them as opposed to just putting on a show.
Right. Yeah, I was super impressed with how you did it yesterday. She was on stage and she was like...
And Jesse jumped the line.
Yeah, she yelled at me actually yesterday. I don't know if you knew that you did, but she went like table by table and said, what do you want to hear? And... besides, I can't remember what the one song you're like, no, I don't know that, or I don't got that. But I was like, dude, she knows like, not only do you know like all your original stuff and everything like that, but like I was like, holy, the range that you had yesterday, like jumping from artist to artist.
It's so fun for me because we know over 500 songs, like actually legit, and I like to flex that muscle.
Hell yeah!
If I'm picking the songs, I'm gonna go to the ones that I just automatically are at the top of mind. And if the crowd says something, it's like yesterday, I'd never played Heard It Through the Grapevine, which is a classic, but we've just never had a request. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And it went fine. You know, it's like we made it to the end of the song and whatever, and the guy ended up coming up and giving us $40 because we tried something we never done. So it's also a way to like, people like, no, you won't try anything. It's like, watch me.
Right.
Hold my rumple mints and watch me.
The worst thing that can happen is we mess it up and then we play another song.
I mean, with a voice like yours, it doesn't matter if you mess it up or not. To be honest, like I'll sit there and watch and listen the whole time. Like, I mean, I could mess up.
I love when artists mess up.
Well, that's another thing. It's even if it's like people have been watching us for 30 minutes, then we play a song that we just absolutely train wreck. We've already announced we've never played the song before. We tried it. We're gonna play the next song. We'll make sure it's a banger that we actually know, and the crowd feels like they're part of the experience because we are. It's just like talking about the stories of bad things in life. It's just like we messed up a song. Like we're humans,
right?
You know, like
I was there when she first did that, and it didn't go great for her. But now I know it.
Right. All right. The first time I played Shoes in Texas, that you know. There had to be a first time for everything, you know?
Absolutely, and 500 songs, that's
ridiculous.
It might be more than that, but we just, we add stuff to the set, like we added Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Alright, so just like you haven't played a few songs before, like Grapevine, I've never actually had Rumple Mints before.
Oh, you're not gonna like it because it's not cold?
Listen, I already told them, I said, I hate Rumple Mints, but she likes it, we'll do it.
When it's cold, it is so good. And when it's warm, it's like cough syrup, but it's fine.
It's also terrible cold.
He was like, should we get some Rumple Mints? I was like, fuck yeah, we should get some Rumple Mints.
All right, y'all.
Cheers.
All right.
Can I get truck yeah?
Truck yeah.
And swallow. We hope your day begins and ends with a swallow.
I like
so.
That actually, it's like peppermint.
It's like peppermint shots.
McGillicuddy's.
A friend of mine.
Gargle with that.
Love it.
Absolutely loves Rumple Mints.
I never go into work having a shot, so you guys just broke my.
I was just gonna say you can only have two today.
I know.
So back 2007, I donated a kidney to a woman, and then it started this chain effect, and her husband donated to another woman. And so that second woman in the chain, Angie, love her to death, has become friends over the years, and she loves Rumple Mints. And anytime we would get together, she'd be like, let's do a shot of Rumple Mints. And it's like, oh, yay! You know, it's one of those things that it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not my go-to.
It's like people that love Fireball. I hate Fireball.
I was gonna say, every time I met this Angie girl, she's always done Fireball.
I would do Fireball in a heartbeat over Rumple Mints.
See, and it's like some people, it's a love-hate thing. People either love it or they hate it. And like, I used to be sponsored by Jägermeister from 21 to 24, which is a horrible thing for a 21 to 24. And
Jaeger bombs.
I could drink Jaeger like it was water back then.
Yeah.
But a few too many times of throwing up black, and now I can't even smell it. And it's just like, and there's not many alcohols like that, like, because I've thrown every kind of alcohol up. But
me and tequila are like that. I smell tequila and I'm like, no.
Yeah, Jaeger is one that and just even we were over at Shulman's, which is my favorite bar in Nashville for anyone coming to Nashville, the other night, and the guys next to us like wanted to buy us shots of Jaeger. I was like, I will take a shot. I'm not taking a shot of Jaeger. Like, there's no, and he's like, come on, it's free. I'm like,
You're
No.
like
You
I'll
could
take
pay
the shot,
me.
but I'm also gonna return the shot. You're like, wait, that's not attractive. So
Exactly. So, I know Rumplemints is that way for people, but it's like mint chip ice cream. Some people don't like mint chip ice cream, and I love it. But I always say I'm the kind of toxic that I just love minty things. I love menthol cigarettes and Rumplemints.
nice. Yeah. Hey, that's what helps the voice. So
Exactly.
There you go.
It's how you-
keeps you fresh and clean.
It's my vocal warm-ups.
There you go.
I had a band that the bass player came up to me and was like, I have a bet with our singer. How many cigarettes does it take you to warm up? I was like, 1. And he like thought I was joking. I was like, no, that's my warm up.
Right.
You think I'm warm up? You think I'm in the shower going, like, no, I'm not a pussy.
Yeah, right. That's kind of a dick move.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. People love to give me shit about everything, and I'm just like, I'm a girl playing in the boys' sandbox. So,
Right.
you gotta have a thick skin.
Yeah.
And I tour with fucking 3 man children. Like, you gotta just be able to,
Right.
have a thick skin.
Do
Absolutely.
you ever want to throw down though?
No, I'm not a fighter.
Oh, all right.
I'm not a fighter.
You could fool me in some of your videos and stuff. I was
People
like,
think
this
that.
is a badass bitch.
No, I'm a baby
From the
fighter.
backwards right here. Like, my wife, absolutely loves you. One, she's a huge Janis Joplin fan. But she heard you and she's like, and then she saw and we're all tatted up and she's
Yeah.
like, that's one badass bitch right there. And she's a badass bitch too. So she was like, she's super jealous that
I can hang with the boys, but I've never been in a fight. I've broken up tons of fights. I'm that bitch at the bar that even if I don't know the people, I'm like, guys, can't we all just get along?
My wife.
Yeah, and okay, so it's a little different. Sorry, Tosh. My wife actually knocks out dudes like Matt size and shit.
Well, so
like
we
that.
make a good team.
Yeah, there you go. You would talk her off
I
the
could talk
ledge.
her off the ledge, but if anything ever happened, she could protect me.
Perfect. Absolutely. She protects me all the time.
I love that. I love that.
So before we let you get going, because I know you got a show today to
Yep.
do, and we don't want to steal your whole day away from you. Is there anything else that you want to cover that's coming up that people want to know about before we cut this thing short and send you on your way to do your show?
Anytime you come to Nashville, come see me. Always check my website. I don't go months and months in advance because I would have hundreds of shows on my page. So
Okay.
halfway through the month before I post the next month's schedule. But it's pretty much always the same. I always play Friday through Sunday if I'm in town, and if not, I might be in your hometown soon, and I tour all the time. I have new music coming out every single month for the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's tons of stuff to keep people entertained, and always check out SheynaGee.com, SheynaGee.com, and I am G's for Gangster on all the socials.
G is for gangster.
GEEIS, the number 4 gangster, and yes, G is my real last name.
I'm assuming you've been asked that.
Yeah, I was saying, you've done this a time or two before.
Nobody believes me. I'm like, do you want me to show you my government passport? Like, I can't.
Well, we thank you not only for your hospitality, but for taking the time to sit down with us. I know you're busy, and we love being able to get the word out on artists that we love and sharing artists with people that we don't even know. So thank you, appreciate it, and thank you for a hell of a show yesterday too.
Thank you guys so much for coming to my apartment. This is the first podcast I've done in my house. Welcome to the neighborhood.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, we will catch you guys next time.
Y'all Need Music Podcast.
Bye.